Alright, what is going on, everybody? Hope all of you guys are doing well. Hope everyone had an amazing trading week. Me, myself, I didn't trade that much last week except for Thursday. But throughout the week, there were a lot of nice opportunities, especially the past Friday. And in today's session, we're just going to go over it. This is my first time ever doing like a breakdown call on YouTube. So bear with me, guys. This session is going to be about an hour long. Approximately, we're going to see how fast we're going to go through the chart today. But yeah, let's get into it. So first thing first, we check out what the daily chart is telling us. The concept that we are applying here is supply and demand, and then a lower time frame entries. Basically, adding up the adding up the strategy that we use or the concept that we use in the lower time frames as well. But in the lower time frames, we have to be more conscious of liquidity being taken out and some other factors like the structure that we are currently trading in, the supply and demand that is presented within the lower time frames as well. But we're gonna go all through that today. So yeah, let's start with the daily. With the daily, we can see that the market is trading to the downside. Looking at the basic structure, we have a structure point over here, a structure point over here. That was our main structure. That main structure got broken by this move to the downside over here. So that means we are trending in a bearish market environment. So let's just mark that up real quick. And again, over here, we have liquidity that has been created before they move to the downside. Because why? There needs to be liquidity into the market. Like, people need to be induced into buying or selling a currency, or even stocks, or even like cryptocurrencies, because there needs to be a balance of people that win and people that lose. Because if there isn't a balance of that, then nobody could get paid, because then the market would only go up or only go down. So what is happening over here is liquidity is being created to be taken out to the downside. So that's what we see happening over here, and then we're going to look at the inner structure, or the current structure that we are trading in. So this is our high, this is our low, this is the leg, so to speak, that broke that structure point. And now within that leg, we're going to go back and look for supply and demand areas. So this is our area of supply. On the daily, we're going to refine this to the 4-hour and then the lower time frames. And when we look at supply, we also have to look at points of demand. So I have a point of demand over here. And this is our daily structure information that we have. We also have a demand zone in this. It's called a rally base rally. As a pattern for demand. And we can see the reaction off of it, so that's good. But anyways, we're gonna leave that out of here because we're looking at the extremes, so we could take the best positions within the market. Because these work, but they're usually retracement trades or corrections, and not really, like, they don't have the most fullest potential to give you high risk rewards, right? So dropping down to the 4-hour, we can see that the daily supply has been tested. We've come above. We didn't close above. That is very important. We didn't close above. And then what we also did, let's look at this. We came in and grabbed this high. If you just zoom into that, let me be very precise. We can see the market came a little bit about this level, and then turned. Why? Because above that level, there's people that have been putting their stops. Like, people who If you take this whole trade over here, people that sold this leg to the downside, a lot of them, like not most of them, but a lot of them have been putting their stops over here. Why? Because that is the golden standard teachings that you will find within the markets. Put your stop loss above the high, put your stop loss above the low, etc., etc. So we could see that the market came just a little bit above that point, didn't close above the daily zone, and then started to trade to the downside. Now, of course, we have our daily demand over here. We could refine that because this one looks a lot more cleaner. And then we have this rally base rally again. But like I said, guys, most of these are just usually like retracement trades, then like full-blown moves or like expansions like this one. But anyways, we're gonna still mark them out because they can be important. And then now, okay, we have refined this POI. We have looked at what happened over here, and now we could start looking at what is the current structure telling us. Alright, so have our daily supply that is being hit, and now we would go back and look into the structure point. So over here we have the low, created the high, created a low, expanded again, created a low, created a new high, created a low again, created a high, created a low, and then created a higher high again. Now, after this point over here has been taken down, now the market is giving us a it's shifting in momentum. What does that want to say? It's changing its character. It's changing from a bullish character that we've been seeing throughout this whole push over here into a bearish character, because the structure point that held this last move has now been broken. And also, if we look at the order flow, this would be our last order flow point, which created a reaction but wasn't enough to break this inner structure point. Because if this inner structure point was broken, this supply on the daily wouldn't have mattered that much. It would have only caused a reaction, and then we would have continued to trade the upside, but it didn't. All right, so this daily supply was strong enough to eventually break the structure to the downside, and now giving us a reason to switch our position from bullish to bearish. All right, and then after we see the structure point being broken, we're gonna look back for supply and demand areas again. We could see that this is a drop-based drop. It did come test it and then continued. We have a drop-based drop again, which did came back and got tested again. Again, didn't close above and then continued to the downside. Okay, now we have our new area of supply. This is a quite big one, but we will refine it in a bit. All right, now we see that the market came to a certain area, demand, reacted off this level over here, which was again just a retracement trade to continue the current trend to the downside. So now we have stacking confirmations. We have two areas of demand that did create a reaction, but weren't strong enough to break to the upside to continue the bullish character. And we have structure points that are being broken. So this is a structure point for this, like inner structure points, and this was a structure point for this one. So with that being said, let's Let's see, is there anything else we can see? Yeah. Alright, so again on the 4 hour, we have this area of demand. It's being tested. So our current structure is this high and this low. That's our main focus for now. So dropping into the 1 hour, what can we see within the structure points? We could see this supply being tested here and then continue to the downside. It can still come back and test for this. Oh wait, it didn't. Alright, so it didn't actually test it, which makes this area very, very interesting, because this point now over here is going to be a point of liquidity for me. But then again, we also have another POI over here, which we are going to monitor. Alright, both POIs are POIs to monitor. We're not instantly going to act when the market gets into these areas. So let's see, dropping down to 15, we could see some imbalance within this, and again within this. So this is me defining my POIs. Let's drop down to 5. Yeah, 5, we got this push to the upside that liquidated this. Alright, and for me, this isn't, like, looking at it now, it's not looking that interesting. But again, I'm just gonna let that zone sit there, because we might react of it, give us like lower time frame confirmations to take the sell anyway. So alright, so yeah, we now have 2 POIs to sell from, because we're looking at supply. Now we have to look at the current demand that is being created, right? So current demand, this was our last move that picked up the demand and now created the inner structure BOS, vertical structure. So this is a point for me to monitor. Dropping down to the 15. This has been tested. This has been tested. Alright, not really that much interesting stuff going on anymore. We find this point. 5 minute. Yeah, that's fine. I'm looking at this as a point of liquidity that's been created. You see, guys, they always create liquidity before expanding to buy sides or sell sides. And that's what has been happening over here. Alright, they created liquidity, gave a fake move to the upside, induced more people to buy in, and then just fucked them, basically. So now we have a point of demand, and now we have 2 points of supply that we're currently watching. Alright, perfect. So now we wait. You can see this is 2100. Yeah, going into the Asian session, which I personally do not trade. Alright, perfect. Now let's wait until our POIs get hit and London opens, right? There we go. London opens up. Now, what is happening in the current structure? Currently, we are trading to the upside. This is our structure points, and we're moving very close to this point of supply. Then again, we just wait. You can see that it did create a new demand area. Oh no. So let's go back to the 15, highlight that demand area, because it could still continue from here, but again, they're more like, you know, areas for the market to bounce back off, to recover, so to say, to take a pause. Because you can't just, like, you just have to imagine, like, you can't run 10 kilometers without, like, taking a break somewhere between that distance, you know. And that's what's happening with these PYs that I'm showcasing right here. So dropping down into the 1 minute, what can we see? This height was taken out. For me, this is an area that is very interesting to keep an eye out, because this for me needs to break first before I consider selling, because it's an order flow point. Like I've seen so many times where the market comes into a point of interest, right? It shows you that it wants to go down, then comes into a point of demand, reacts off of that point of demand, breaks it, and then continues. So this point right here needs to be broken, this whole area, and that is also a structure point. It's not, for me, it's not really clear, because this for me is more of a structure point, because it also aligns no, the 5 minutes this. But for me, this is more of a structure point, because like I said, we have a rally, then a short break, and then a rally again, right? So this for me is the structure. But again, if you look at the seconds time frames, which I do not have, I'm currently not using, but I will in the future, and then yes, this would be a structure point. So let's see what happens. This gets mitigated. This supply is still holding. Demand, my bad. And now we could see that this point has been broken. All right. We also could directly identify our possible entry, because why? I'm looking back into the order flow. I'm looking back into the order flow. So the order flow, meaning we have this point over here that has been tested, created the move to the downside, came back up. We did create some equal highs over here, which can be a concerning factor, but it isn't everything, right? Yes, it is liquidity, but this liquidity could also be for the future. You know, it's not necessary to be taken out immediately. Yes, if we do like come into this area, create the move up, like induce or take out the smart money traders over here, you know, give them a fake reaction for more people to get in, and then eventually fuck them up to take this out. And maybe on the 5 minute we have a candle, 3 minute no, 2 minute no, not really either. Alright, so I don't really see a point getting there, honestly, from the higher time frame, but it could still happen, right? You know, take this out and then eventually, you know, break the structure, break the order flow point, then come back and sell off. It's still a possibility, right? That's something that we just have to keep in mind. But for now, we could see the order flow point being broken. We have a new area of supply, and again, it's been an order flow point. All right, so market should continue from this point on, but it depends. Like if we get here first, then I'm gonna be quite not hesitant, but I'm gonna watch the market on like candlestick basis, and then base my entry off of that. So, all right, perfect. Now we did not enter this area yet. We did, however, come into this area of demand, which did create a reaction. But again, for me, setup looks clean. We have a higher time frame, 15-minute area where we reacted off. So I'm gonna take this up, right? target, like you could like target 1 to 5 first, and then take some of the table. Looking at the higher time frame perspective, what I did see, what I am seeing right now is this area, because this is the area that is holding the structure point. So I'm going to be watching this area for any new structure breaks within the lower time frame, and then eventually target this. Right, so just gonna let it play out, see what happens. Alright, nice reaction. We did not react off this area, so this could go away. And then this was our 1 hour, I believe. Oh no, our 15-minute, my bad. So our 15-minute, alright, perfect. So now we're gonna downscale it. Boom, okay, we came in, we reacted. Our position is so over here. What did we react of? Alright, so we have this area that got taken out. The test did come under here. Again, probably like a second. If you had like the second chart, time frame charts, you could probably find the area of demand there. That's why it reacted. But let's see. I mean, we still have a pretty good position. Like you could have already like taken some out from the 1 to 10. And then let's see, 5-minute. We don't really have much. I'm looking for a continuation trade, right? Because we did come off supply, we did break order flow, and now we're looking for a continuation within this structure. So this is my new area of supply. 2 minutes is the same. Alright, 1 minute is this guy over here. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna enter here. I'm gonna watch the reaction, right? Alright, now this area has been broken, but 15 minute also to close. So for us, this can go now. We have a new area of supply over here, which has been tested directly. We see the push, close below, tests, probably now continuation. We also have our new structure point on the 5-minute. And that structure point just got violated. Alright, so why did it shoot up? What did we miss? We have an area of imbalance over here, with also quite the liquidity. Alright, there. Alright, so the liquidity was taken out. Most of the imbalance was filled. It reacted. Could have we seen this? Alright, perfect. Alright. So now looking back at it from the 1 minute, following the 1 minute structure. So high, so low or high. This, let's see, did get under. This was taken out. Took a new low, create a new high. Alright, let's see what happens next. This was our first warning. Now it broke major, like this was overall the push, right? Came in to pick up some money. Also some imbalance over here, got filled. And then New York open. Alright. So we did get the warning signs. Like after this point, you should like already consider closing a huge amount of your volume, right? But after this, it's over. It's done. Like close the position. we could so 1 to 17. Eventually, after you closed, after the break, it was a 1 to 10. Yeah, 1 to 8. Overall, not a bad trade, right? Yeah. Shut up. All right. What time again? 14:30. 14:30. Yeah, that was this the stock opening. All right. And why again? We have quite the reason to take that out. All of these trendline traders, like, just watch this, right? So, like, first touch, second touch, came back in, third touch, then reaction. Hold on. It's gonna probably like come back and touch it again to get more buyers or more sellers in. Let's see. Right there, touched. New York sellers come into play, and then bye bye. Get fucked. All right, let's go. Let's go into the 5 minute. We have our other area of supply over here. We have some highs that are being violated right now. Let's see. All right, we come into that area of supply again. 1 minute, what can we see, right? So, looking at the structure points, good reaction. Some people might see this already as a BOS or break of structure, but I don't. For me, there's an area of demand in here, and the ultimate structure is over here. We also have some like lows, clear lows. That is, I mean, that would be nice to taken out, to be seen taken out, right? All right, awesome. So now we have the lows that are being violated. We have our demand, but we have to take in consideration that this move, it's not happening for nothing, right? So looking into the 3 minute, not seeing very much. 12 minute. All right, so 15 minute gave me a clear area of demand, right? Refining. 5 minute, 3 minute. We have this, which covers also a bit more imbalance. Perfect. And then 1 minute, comes in rather the same, right? Well, we have our structure point that is being broken. We have supply that is being tested. Now we go back into the 5 minute and look for areas of supply within this new current range, right? A 3 minute also comes back. All right, perfect. So for me, I like this. I like how the 3 minute and the 5 minute align with each other. I like the reaction of this area of supply in the 15. We have our structure that is being broken, and we have liquidity that has been picked up, right? So for me, I'm going to place a order, and you could choose this stop, or you could be a little bit more safe. Depending on your appetite or risk. For me, an 8.5 into here, and then Probably will close out, most of my volume, because this move is still significant. Let's see what happens. Not much, not much. This is our structure point though. Now you can see that structure point being broken. Alright. Now for me, I personally would like to see something like this happen in here before we sell off now, because we are bullish. Now we're coming to this area. Reaction, nothing significant. Bye bye. We have the London or New York open, sorry. And then we have this last push to the downside. Just gonna mark it out. Alright, so now we do have this structure point that is being broken. 3 minute. We have this candle over here. We could point that out, but I don't really have high hopes for it to hit this area and then move. But you never know. We did break an order flow point, but for me, looking at the time, is not significant. I'm not behind the charts. Like at this point, I'm like chilling, going to the gym, or like playing Call of Duty, or like whatever. I'm not trading. So for me, the trading day is over. We got an opportunity over here. Didn't quite get to this opportunity. Well, looking back at this, nope. 3 minute, nothing. 2 minute, nope. Okay, no, there was no opportunity there. All right. Now let's just play this out. See what we could do the next day. By the way, this 14.9. 14.9 is here. It's almost a week and a half ago, so I'm not backtesting last week. I'm just backtesting, the week before, because what I was doing, I was just like going back, and then just click somewhere on replay. So I do not like understand, or like do not know what the future brings, right? So I'm sorry, guys. Next time I'll analyze. I'll try to analyze last week. It's gonna be hard because I pretty much only trade GU and Euro, so I pretty much know exactly how they move throughout the week, especially when I like looked at it once or twice. Now the Asian session starts. Wow, that is quite interesting. That is quite interesting, isn't it? We did come and test that 3 minute area, which bossed up. Alright, but anyways, right? Just again, I got flamed. Alright, perfect. Now, again, new day, London opens. Let's see what we've got, right? 15 minute. Where's our supply, right? Our supply is sitting right here. Well, even better said, this is our supply. Because we have a order flow point here, order flow point here. So this would be the next stop for it to trade to downside. But again, if this area fails, we still have a 1 minute area that still might hold, right? 15 minute, not very much for demand. Only this, but for me, it's not really looking that significant. I would mark out this perhaps. This is the new structure point, and also this move over here. This is very significant. All right, this is, for me, this sticks out because it takes out all this liquidity and then gives a huge push for. So this will definitely be marked out and definitely be watched for lower time frame confos to enter. All right, so 5 minute. Let's see what the 1 minute. All right, let's go through the 3 minute first. All right. That's it. All right. So 2 minutes is showing me this. 1 minute. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there because it's part of the imbalance. All right, perfect. Then now we wait again, guys. We wait again. We have our current structure though on the 1 minute that is bullish because we broke this point. This is our current structure, so we could react somewhere in here, but I don't really see an area where we could have, where we could do that. So I'm just gonna leave it be, and then wait for something more significant. Let's see, settings, top. Perfect. So waiting for the 5 minute. Speed things up. All right, at this point, demand just got violated. This is why we wait. No slowdown, no breaks the structure, no demand points that are being broken, right? So no entry. Well, this could go, but that does tell me now that the characteristic of the market is quite bullish, right? So we're gonna wait again for what is happening over here. But now I do see a area of demand, which is significant because it took out the supply point. Ooh, New York opens. Okay, let's go into 1 minute, right? Let's read what is happening within this 1 minute. All right, so looking at structure points. Let's go with blue. Bang, bang, bang. See, this doesn't break. This doesn't break. This breaks. And so this is not a low. Yeah. This is my low. And this is my high. Alright, perfect. Then we have the inner structure. Inner structure broke. Demand point. Demand point. Order flow point broke. Okay, but what do we have else sitting over there? Some highs. Right, just around New York open. So we're gonna mark that out. Extend it a little bit. And then we have the point of demand on the 5 minute. Now we wait. So our current structure within this range is bearish. Guess why? And this got taken out, which was obvious because of this liquidity point. I'm gonna make it gold, so you guys understand that there's a lot of money there. So you go, yeah. There's a lot of money that is being held there. Guys, just give me a second, quick. Because I do. Alright, Control C, Control V. Go center. Go inside. Make template. Paste. Bang, 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 bang. Alright, perfect. Then we also have a fake point of interest for our smart money traders. Heck, smart guys, smart money is not new. You know, more and more people are starting to do this. It's like really becoming the new normal like trading style, like gradually. So you have to adapt. We see this point being taken out. Now we go into the 5-minute. Let's see what the 5-minute has to offer. Our point of supply is this area, right? Is this area. But let's see. What I am also looking at is the imbalance between this point and this point. That is now like partially being filled, but for me that's an important area. But yeah, let's just leave it like this. Let's see what the 3-minute says. 3-minute is showing this as our area of supply. 2-minute also, and then 1-minute. Yeah, this was like the last move that came into this point. All right. And then we wait. Let's see what happens within that area. So we come in, we test, we. Let me see this because I do remember this trade. All right, we came like a millimeter above that. But for me, this is still equal highs. Like for me, this is a liquidity point. But we did come and react. Come. I'm sorry, guys. This was our last point of demand and order flow point. All right, so this needs to be broken. We also have an area over here, but I'm more focused on this. Comes, tests again, and now it does break. All right, perfect. Let's take that out. See, 5-minute showing new supply. 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute. All right. Let's see if it comes back. I like this. This is now the new supply, but this is big, so no entry. Like, look, guys, if you guys have a more appetite of risk, right, and for you this break to the break to the downside was enough, because this was the last order flow point that did held this structure. This was the last structure point that broke previous highs. So you have like two confirmation stacking, right? You have the structure point that broke the high, and you have the order flow point, which has been violated. If you had an appetite for, like, if you were okay with this trade, you could have taken it, like, right here, stop above, like, yeah, I mean, like, it depends, like, give your spread a little room right there, and then you could have taken it, right? But for me, this point needed to be broken. It didn't happen, and this new supply is just too big. I'm not gonna enter off of that. And then you had melted. Yeah, I remember this trade. That's why I explained this last part, right? So new point of supply, demand comes on to the, let's see, 15, no, 5, yeah, 5. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, maybe there is a continuation trade, right? Let's get this back in here. So getting back into this new area of supply, again, very big zone. Let's see if we could dial that out. No. Nah, for nah, not really, not really, not really. But then let's see, right? Order flow point. Does it like is creating for me an area of liquidity? See what happens within this. Alright, yeah, it did react quite nicely. The question is gonna break it. Yeah, picked it up. This could have been a second time frame entry. Now I'm looking at this. Right. Why this? Like, I'm gonna extend it a little bit. So we have the order flow, right? We come in, we go down, we mitigate, we this mitigates this, and then we go back to the downside, and then this push over here within this wick comes and cleans this out. So now, logically, the only order flow point or the only orders where the institutions or a bank is sitting in is within this wick. But we don't have the second time, so I couldn't see the candles. But looking at it now, I see why. And again, guys, watch what happens. Right, liquidity is being created right above that point. Why? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. Why is that happening? Why is this trend line being created? It's for this. This again. This. Order flow point is still intact. Now it's broken. All right. No real continuation trade for us. Like, it's almost 5 o'clock. Let's see, 15. Okay, so it did come into this and react off of it. See, 5, 3. Yeah, okay. Now I understand why we took a pit stop. Perfect. So yeah, pit stop, come back, refuel, boom. Short, breaks the order flow point. Does come in to grab at this high. And then continues its journey. See, in the 5 minutes, we have a new area of supply. Alright. And Tokyo, we're done. Alright, let's see what happens. I still would like to see this area being tested before we go, because I'm gonna almost like finish up. Does its purpose, and then just gets taken off. All right, this position is still, it could still be open. There was no real danger after it broke this. Then yes, we could have closed it in, but didn't. See, let's target this. So ultimately, because this was our order flow point, I believe, in the 1 hour or on the daily. Like, what was this? 4 hour. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay. And then just look back at it. Let's go 5. So now we did come in this area again. This was broken, but what stopped it? Oh wow, perfect. Like perfect. Probably, let's see, is there a 1 minute entry? Let's see. No, not really. No, not really. No. There wasn't an entry, but, if you, like, I mean, it was obvious. You could have placed an order there, maybe like half the risk, instead of like half a percent, you would have done like 0.25, or if you're usually risking 1%, you could have took half the risk within that area and then took it, because the liquidity was there. The liquidity for the market to trade to the downside, it was available. So, and damn man, this position would have banked. This position would have fucking banked. Oh my god. And then we did react. Order flow point. Not really. Alright. Anyways, let's just finish up. Yeah, right, cool. I'm gonna leave the rest, this area and this area, for you guys. And yeah, that's really it for today's session. This is going to be the first session that will be made public on the YouTube. Not really sure how frequent or how often I'm gonna do these, but yeah, make sure to just subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be ready for new uploads, because there's gonna be a lot of very good and very helpful um, education that is going to come to you guys. All right, perfect. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.